Today on the Diz Quiz, we're talking about my new Walt Disney World iPhone app. Let's get into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Diz Quiz. As always, I'm your host, Tommy T, here, like I said, with a special episode of the Diz Quiz because we're talking about this new Disney iPhone app that I've put out earlier this month. It's called FlyList. I'll be telling you all about it on this episode, kind of about the idea, where it came from, how we put it together, the launch of FlyList, and what I see for the future. So it's going to be pretty interesting, especially if you're interested in app development, software development, that sort of thing. And I think it'll be interesting and fun for anybody. So looking forward to sharing those stories with you. Before we get into that story, I do want to give my usual quick word that if you do enjoy the Diz Quiz, then subscribing on YouTube or the podcast service of your choice, leaving a review in the podcast app, or following us on social media. Really great ways to support the show, and I appreciate every ounce of support that we get. It's been a long while since I've been able to put an episode out. I recently moved to a new home, and those of you who have been through it, you know all of the craziness that comes with that, but we're getting settled in. Got my new setup here, new background. I'm enjoying it. Not using the green screen for now. Let's see how it works out, but I'm enjoying my new space here. The new home is going great, and it's just been tough to put out content during that time, but I'm excited to get back to more of a regular schedule. We'll see what happens. You know, it's really tough to find the time, but I think with the new setup, it should be easier to put out more content more often, so that's very exciting. The other thing is I've been working on this app, and that's taken up a lot of my time that's not spent on my personal life and professional life and all that. You know, having all these hobbies takes up a good deal of my time, so it's tough kind of dividing where I want to focus on. And lately it's been about FlyList, and I'm really excited to share the story of this app with you. So to begin my story, I have a question for you. Do you know exactly which restaurants at Walt Disney World you've eaten at and which ones you still need to try? I certainly didn't. And that was a question I asked myself last year. I was planning a Disney trip for the fall, and it was over the summer. I was looking at kind of what reservations I wanted to make, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, which restaurants do I still need to try? Which ones have I already tried? And I can kind of, focus on the new ones because I like trying new things and keeping track of this kind of stuff. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, I got to somehow put a list together of all the restaurants that I can go into Excel and be a big nerd and put that list together and figure out which ones are still on my to-do list. And as I started to do this and looking for a good resource for it, I was like, man, I want to track everything. I want to see which rides I still need to try, which shows, which resorts I need to stay at, all that stuff. It's like, okay, there has to be some sort of website or application. Somebody has to make something where I can track all these things and know which ones I've done and which ones I still need to try. I searched high, I searched low, could not find anything that did exactly what I wanted. Found a piece here, a piece there, but nothing showed me everything in Walt Disney World and let me track and check off things. So I started thinking, okay, this is a good idea. Like, I can't be the only giant dork that wants to track this kind of stuff. Let me start pursuing this. And over one weekend last summer, I put together the designs for what would become FlyList. It's pretty close to what we actually ended up producing in the app. And it was just kind of like natural to me. I don't know. I've been looking for ideas for so long on cool Disney stuff to make. And this one just came to me pretty instantly. And the more I worked on it, the more I thought about it, the more I searched at what else was out there. Nothing quite did this, and it just felt like a really good idea. So I had the designs done. I was happy with them, and now it's time to actually make an app. And I said, okay, I'll teach myself how to code on iOS. I signed up for an online course, made it about a week, 2 weeks, and then I said, this is way too hard for me. I can design things, and I can do video. I can do a lot of stuff. Coding, I just did not have the time or the mindset to make it happen. So I partnered with some people who do have that mindset, and together we were able to produce the app. So while my lead developer was working on the code, I was working on putting the list together. So that means I had to dig through everything there is to do in Walt Disney World. That means every quick service, every snack location, every resort, every attraction, transportation methods, everything at Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon and Disney Springs. All these items I had to make sure I had complete lists, had to make descriptions of them, GPS coordinates. I wanted to make sure that I had some solid information so that people could understand which place I was talking about, because sometimes it can get confusing, and also just know that I had a comprehensive database of Disney World. This took many hours. There's almost 1,000 items in FlyList. To be honest, It was pretty fun putting this list together. I had to pore over many websites, both official Disney stuff and fan sites and Google Maps and all kinds of resources, looking up photos to make sure I had the names and locations right. And now we're keeping those things updated as things change, sort of periodically doing updates. So that is a really fun aspect of building this app, was making sure I had all of this data into the database. So by late last year, we had a pretty solid prototype for FlyList, and I was feeling very good about it. Early in the year, I actually invited friends and family and some very generous members of the DizQuiz community who all tried out the app, gave me some valuable feedback. There wasn't a whole lot of it, but there were some quirks here and there we needed to iron out, some typos and things that we fixed. So I was feeling pretty good about the app around February and March, getting ready to put some marketing materials together to release the app. We all know what happened in March, and with so many impacted so severely by the COVID-19 pandemic, it became no longer a good decision to put out my little Disney app in that sort of environment. We all had to worry about our own well-beings, the well-being of society as a whole, and not so much my little personal project. But as things began to open up, parks have been open for several months now, I started to think, hey, people need something to do. They need a way to experience Walt Disney World from home if they don't feel safe going right now. And I just wanted to get it out to the world and share it with all of you and see what people would make of FlyList. So on October 1st, we released FlyList on the iOS App Store, and I've been delighted to have it in people's hands finally. After well over a year of thinking about it, it's been a thrill to see it out in the App Store, seeing people downloading and get their hands on it. And I hope you'll give it a try. Of course, I'll put it in the description, a link to where you can download FlyList. Again, it's on the iOS App Store. No Android plans right now, maybe someday. But if you've got an iPhone, I'd really appreciate you trying it. So now I want to give you a little tour of the app and a little demo of how it all works and what you can do inside of FlyList. So here on the homepage, you can see how many items of lists you've subscribed to that you've checked off and how many lists you've totally completed. So you go to Browse List, it shows you all the lists we currently have in the app. So you'll see things like the theme parks, the water parks, the characters, resorts, dining stuff, and even the merchandise locations. So it's really everything that you would find on a guide map is logged here in some way. You head into a list, you'll see all the different attractions broken down by land. So if you click into one of the attractions, let's now log this experience. So you'll see the name of the experience, the description. You can view it on the map using the coordinates on Google Maps. And then you can actually add a date, a rating, and some notes. So in addition to the to-do list aspect, it also becomes a journal of your Disney experiences. And that's what it looks like when you log an item. So now you'll see it'll be checked off on the list. Let's go over to My List, and you can see these are the lists that have been subscribed to. So you choose which lists you want to track and which ones you're not as interested in. And if you don't want to go browsing through the list, you can actually go here to log, and you can search through every experience in the app. So we can type in, say, Spaceship Earth, and there it is. It comes right up, and we can log it that way instead of going through the Epcot list. For the future of FlyList, of course I want to keep adding lists to the app. That could be practical things like every booth at the Food and Wine Festival, or get a little silly with it, maybe every bathroom in every park. And going beyond Walt Disney World into Disneyland or other Disney parks could be really fun as well. And so I want to keep making sure that we're adding new ways to continue logging and tracking new things. But beyond that, I think there's a lot of opportunity to make more interactive experiences with FlyList, really changing the way that you can share your Disney experience with others. And that's all to come in the future. For now, it's about keeping these lists up to date and giving you new ones to play with. But I do hope you'll stick around and watch us grow, because I think there's a lot of potential to really change the way people go about sharing their Disney fun. I do hope you'll download FlyList. Again, the link will be in the description. It's completely free on the iOS App Store. And then, as you probably know, one of the best ways to support an app is to leave a rating in the iOS App Store. That's why all your apps are always bugging you to give them a rating, because it helps a lot with visibility and therefore growth. So we really appreciate it here at the FlyList team, at the DizQuiz team. Me personally, it means a lot. I had so much fun working on the app, and it's just great to have it out into the world. And I think that if you're a DizQuiz community member and you enjoy Disney the way I do, and if you don't, I don't know why else you're here. So if you're here, I think you'll really enjoy playing around with FlyList. If nothing else, it gives you a way to sort of get a taste of Disney from home. So again, hope you'll try it out. I do appreciate your support here at the DizQuiz and FlyList now, being kind of one entity in some ways. It really is exciting. So thank you so much for watching this little episode of the DizQuiz. more content coming to you this year for sure. I know we're like looking down the home stretch right now, but I got some fun ideas, and I hope you'll stay tuned to that. We've got more of the Everything We Love About Disney podcast. Now that Gina and I are set in our new home, we'll be recording some more episodes of that. So stay tuned here on YouTube or the podcast service of your choice for some more Diz Quiz, and keep an eye on the social media channels as well for announcements about new episodes and my little fun Disney trivia posts that go up several times a week. So until next time, I've been Tommy T. This has been the Diz Quiz, and we will see you real soon. Bye-bye.